Monin, case number 25 CR 43032. Present before the court is Mr. Monin, right?
Yes, sir.
Co-presented by Mr. Oswald. We have Mr. Harris in the prosecutor's office, Officer Niemeyer from probation. We are here today for sentencing. Has everybody had the opportunity to review the PSI?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Any reason not to go forward with sentence today?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
51 days of jail time credit, no restitution. Sound right to everybody?
Yes.
Correct.
All right, Mr. Harris, on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, I was just looking at the history on this. It looks like it was a fourth in time mandatory fine is affiliated with this, as well as a license suspension. I don't believe there was anything further regarding this case.
Officer Niemeyer, anything from probation?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Oswald?
Your Honor, Mr. Monin's 33 years old. He did acknowledge his substance abuse problem in the pre-sentence investigation. Although he rated himself a 2, which may be a little low, he acknowledges there is an issue, and he also acknowledged he needs treatment. Telber House diagnosed him with severe cannabis use disorder, and they're recommending a level 1 outpatient services. So we're asking you to follow that recommendation and impose the mandatory minimums.
Anything you want to tell me, Mr. Monin?
Yes, sir. First off, I want to wish everyone safe travels on the way home. I want to apologize not only to the court but to the public of Ohio. Whether it be marijuana or my own prescription pills, like it's not good to be driving under the influence at all of anything. And I've taken this time in jail to learn quite a bit. I actually been employed in the kitchen for quite a while. It's been my first ever boss, ever, and I didn't love myself before I came in here, sir. And just being in here, and I lead a Bible study every night, working out, and just taking every opportunity to build myself, making the best out of a negative situation. And I got my grandma out there. The reason she's not here because I thought they canceled court, and she's about to be 90, and I got her to take care of. I got a farm. I've got a lot of responsibilities, and you're not going to see me back in this courtroom, sir.
So here's the thing, Mr. Monin, and I get this a lot, so it's not a crack on you necessarily, but the people that tell me I've learned a lot since I've been in the jail, it does not work that way. And the jail does not give you any skills to stay sober, and when you leave the jail, whatever you learned in the jail, you usually leave behind in the jail. So you have some treatment in front of you that...
This right here is a courtroom reality check. The judge isn't dismissing personal growth, he's drawing a hard legal line between jail compliance and actual rehabilitation. Legally speaking, jail is punishment, not treatment. Courts want behavioral tools, not just good intentions. And when a judge says whatever you learned in jail stays in jail, that's code for probation violations start the moment structure disappears. Question for you. Is accountability about time served or change proven under pressure?
has to get done, and that is where you get the tools to think differently so that this kind of nonsense doesn't happen anymore. I'm going to put you into my community control program for a period of 3 years. I'm going to put you on basic probation and impose upon you the standard rules of probation. I'm going to order that you serve 60 days in the county jail, credit you the 51 days that you have already done. When you're done with the time in the county jail, you're going to enter into and successfully complete the Genesis program. Once you've completed the Genesis program, then I'm going to order that you be placed on 60 days of electronically monitored supervision with a curfew. I'm going to suspend your license for a period of 5 years and impose a fine in the amount of $1,540 plus the costs. If you violate the terms of your supervision or you leave the state without permission, I can sentence you to up to the maximum penalty in this case, which is 30 months in prison. Do your jail, get out, do better, Mr. Monin. That's all, that's all we can do. All right, anything else, anything I forgot?
No, but on the suspension, how many years was that?
5 years.
Okay.
All right, finally, Mr. Monty, you do have the right to appeal this to the 12th District Court of Appeals in Middletown. If you don't have the funds to hire a lawyer to obtain a transcript or to pay the cost, they'll all be provided to you at no charge. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, on that suspension, is it effective, is that today or back to the date?
Effective the date of the offense. All right, we're in recess. versus Earl Zanzinger Jr., 25 CR 42648. Present before the court is Mr. Zanzinger, right?
Yes.
Represented by Mr. Deary. We have Mr. Harrison, the prosecutor's office, Officer Martinez filling in from probation. We're here today for sentencing. Has everybody had the opportunity to review the PSI?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Is there any reason not to go forward with sentence today?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
We have 4 days of jail time credit, $592 in restitution, which may or may not have been paid, right?
We think we have documentation showing that, but yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Harris, anything from the state?
Your Honor, one of the other issues in this case was the forfeiture of the vehicle. It's a 2020 Ford Edge. We asked that that be put on entry to show that it's forfeited to the lien holder or to the Springboro Police Department. Mr. Deary's provided me with some documentation just before we came out that indicates the vehicle was taken by the lien holder, potentially sold. So either way, we would like that on the entry to address that issue. I know there were some other issues as far as probation was concerned. The last time we were here for sentencing, the court gave some extra time to go and investigate that. Due to the weather, I think Ms. Sukavecki was unable to be here, so I understand the court wanted to go forward with sentencing at this time.
Officer Martinez, anything from probation?
Nothing in addition to what Officer Sudovecki had emailed you.
Mr. Deary?
Yeah, Your Honor, Mr. Zanzinger's 54 years old, 55 now. He was educated at Purdue. He's a business major and has spent his entire career in HR. He recently got a new job with a good company, a Fortune 500 company. He is engaged to this woman in the gallery, has 2 adult kids. Your Honor, Mr. Zanzinger well realizes and appreciates that he has had an alcohol problem that has gone on for too long. After this offense, he checked himself into a 30-day program called Lumiere. He successfully completed that. Then he went into outpatient at a place called Evergreen Counseling. He also has been going to AA at least twice a week, Your Honor. When he was at AA and in Evergreen, he heard about the MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, OVI class, which he took. Your Honor, he has been on an alcohol monitor since this case started without incident. He has had his first grandbaby, and as I said, he is planning to get married. Your Honor, Mr. Zanzinger, he will tell you, is very remorseful. He understands the risk to which he put the community, and he took all the classes that I just described to make darn sure that this does not happen again. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Zanzinger, what do you want to tell me?
First, I'd like to apologize for my behavior. It was inexcusable. It was something that I should have known better. And I'm deeply remorseful. I'm humiliated. I'm ashamed of myself. I worked very hard over the past 9 months to rectify the underlying issues that caused this in the first place. I'm dedicated to that program. I plan on furthering that with an LCD license, actually. I've been heavily involved with Lemaire's alumni program. And through that process, I've discovered that I really want to do that as well to help others who are suffering from a serious disease called alcoholism. And I want to help those that are in need and take what I've learned from my experience to do so. I am deeply ashamed of myself. I want the court all to know this. That is not who I am as a person. It's despicable, and I put people at risk, and I'm very ashamed of it. It should have never happened. I put people at risk. After that MAD program, I realized how dangerous and irresponsible my conduct was on that day. I take full responsibility. There's no one to blame for what I did other than myself. It's very shameful what I did. I have to walk around every day with that guilt on my shoulders, and it's something that I work on with my counseling group. I meet with them twice a week. I have a great support group that I never thought possible prior to this. I know I've had other incidents before, and I have built a support group that I have become lifelong friends with, who are dedicated to the same thing I am, is to remain sober and lead a healthy, productive, and prosperous life going forward. I have a grandson that means the world to me, And I do not want to be looked at like that, some drunk person. I'm very ashamed and humiliated for what I did, and I don't know any other way to describe it. And I was wrong, and I had a problem, and I wouldn't address the problem. And I did everything I could, and I committed myself over these last 9 months to do just that, along with my future wife. We are engaged. There's a lot to look forward to, and I committed to this 100%, and I will continue to do so going forward. And it's not the person I want to be, and I want to show the world what I can be, and I have over the last some months, and that's what I want the court to know. I'm shaved. I am very humiliated for what I did, and it's wrong, and I should have known better. And that's all I have. Thank you.
So here's the thing, Mr. Zanzinger.
This is one of the most brutally honest moments you'll hear from a sentencing judge. Notice the legal framing. This isn't moral judgment, it's risk assessment. Recidivism isn't about remorse today, it's about behavior years from now when supervision ends. Courts treat long-term addiction differently because, statistically, relapse doesn't announce itself, it ambushes. The real tension here, punishment versus prevention, and probation is walking that razor-thin line.
There are 3 types of people on my docket that, in my experience, there is very little hope that they are not going to recidivate, means commit this offense again. And those 3 kinds of people are sex offenders, huffers, people who huff paint, and long-term alcoholics. Because what I know from my alcoholic base is they do great until they don't, and then they fall off a cliff, and then they get back into treatment, they're horrified, all of the things that you just said, which are all true. I believe that they're all true. The question is, you know, you got to fight this every single day for the rest of your life, and you have to have this zeal every day, and it's tough. It's tough to maintain that level of commitment, but you got to figure out a way to do it. We're going to give you some tools on probation that are going to hopefully help you do that, but also we have some tools for punishment too, because there is incarceration that is called for in the case. I'm going to put you into my community control program on basic probation for a period of 3 years. I'm going to impose upon you the standard rules of supervision. You're not to be any bars, none of that kind of stuff. No alcohol in your residence. I'm going to order that you serve 64 days in the county jail, credit you the 4 days you have already done. Let you schedule your remaining 60 days sometime in the next 90 days. If you want to start it today, that's fine with me, doesn't matter. I'm going to continue you on the monitor until you are done with your jail days. When you start your jail days, we'll take the monitor off. I'm going to impose a fine in the amount of $1,350, order forfeiture of the motor vehicle, and $592 in restitution. Mr. Deary tells me that the restitution may have already been paid. If so, you get a credit for that, obviously, if it's been paid by your insurance. And whatever's going on with the vehicle, I order forfeiture, and it's up to the other people to implement that forfeiture. I'm going to suspend your license for a period of 6 years. If you violate the terms of your supervision or you leave the state without permission, I can sentence you to up to the maximum penalty in this case, which is 18 months in prison. Anything else we need to do or anything that I forgot?
Cost, Your Honor?
Yes, cost will be assessed. All right, finally, Mr. Zanzinger, you do have the right to appeal this to the 12th District Court of Appeals in Middletown. If you don't have the funds to hire a lawyer to obtain a transcript or to pay the cost, they'll all be provided to you at no charge. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, he is going to schedule. Should he talk to Hannah about that?
Yeah, he'll meet with somebody in probation today.
Should he walk around Hannah to probation? Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Thank you.
Is Mr. Monin here yet? Do we know?
They just walked in.
Okay.
We're gonna go that direction and
All right. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and do that before we do McKenna. We're going to service the people who drove here before the people that are at home.
All right.
This is the case of the State of Ohio versus Terry Newman, case number 25 CR 42874. Present before the court is the defendant, represented by Mr. Newberger. We have Mr. Harris from the prosecutor's office, Officer Niemeyer from probation. We are here today for sentencing. Everybody had the opportunity to review the PSI.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any reason not to go forward with sentence today?
No, Your Honor.
We have 15 days of jail time credit and no restitution. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Harris, on behalf of the state?
Your Honor, in review of the PSI, I noted that he does have a history of alcohol and drug abuse. As we discussed in chambers, the facts of this case are concerning, and I'm not sure he has a understanding of the gravity of the situation that was created. My understanding is that these issues would be addressed somewhat through probation. I would ask that there be a no contact order with Judy Ponder, that he not be within any area of her residence at this time, in hopes that somehow he would understand this might be new territory as far as the court's concerned. I haven't seen a history of this type of behavior. However, it is very concerning for the state.
Officer Niemeyer?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Newberger?
I think Mr. Newman understands the gravity of this situation. I think he'll be an ideal candidate for community control. He also understands that whatever assessment, drug and alcohol assessment he gets, he will comply. This is his first felony conviction, and he just turned 59 years old. Has no prior history similar to what these allegations are, and he understands he can't go back to the neighborhood or see the victim in this case, that there'll be a stay away order. Oh, and he asks that the EMD be removed.
Mr. Newman, what do you want to tell me?
Honestly, it's just the strangest situation I've ever been in. For 8 months, I would stop by her house. One day, I've been seeing a girl now for like the past 3 years, and she lives over on 123 in Lebanon. And she goes out and she picks at night, and she sells decent stuff online. So hanging out with her, I kind of figured out what she wanted and what she didn't want. And one day I was driving down the road, and I seen a toy box at the end of the driveway, and I stopped in, and the lady came out, and we started talking. I asked her if she was getting rid of it. And long story short, after then, for about 8 months, I stopped by about once a month to see how she's doing. I brought in wood for her. I helped her mow her lawn. I've even vacuumed her house for her. Unfortunately, I did notice that when I was stopping by that she couldn't remember my name, so I figured, she's probably getting dementia and stuff like that. And the day that the incident happened, I actually was there before the incident supposedly happened. And I asked her, she asked me what I did for a living, and I told her I was a mechanic again. She asked me if I could check the fluids on her car. And I said I could, but I had something to do. It would be okay if I come back by. She said, fine. I said, well, I'm getting ready to take off. She even asked me, hey, could you hang out for a few more minutes? You're so easy to get along with, so easy to talk to. I said, yeah, sure. So I hung out for a few more minutes. Her neighbor stopped by just before I left and dropped some food off to her. And when he was dropping that off, I was getting up and I was getting ready to leave anyway. So I left and I came back, checked the fluids on her car. I knocked on her door like I always do. She opened the door for me, asked her for her keys. I went out. I started checking the fluids on her car. She came out, and I had her keys laying on the battery underneath the hood. And she picked her keys up, and I told her everything that was going on. And when I was done, I shut the hood, and I followed her back inside. And then her neighbor came over and threw me out of the house. And so I left. I did no arguments, no nothing. I just left, no big deal. And then the next day I was pulled over and found out that I had the warrant out for my arrest, which I had no clue what was even going on whatsoever. So, it kind of threw me for a loop. I meant no harm whatsoever to her at all. I'm not that type of person. Never have been. I'll help anybody in an instant. But now that this has happened, I've really reevaluated that. I've seen people that needs help, and it's made me gun shy. I won't help anybody anymore. It's got me to that point. I haven't been in trouble with the law in forever, ever. And this just slammed me, and I was like, wow. So yeah, it's really made me gun shy about helping anybody anymore. I've seen people broke down on the side of the road. I would stop. I got a pair of coveralls, and tools in my van. If I see somebody broke down before this, I would stop and help them out. I don't do it anymore. I'm afraid for my personal freedom because of what has happened, and it was all because of a dementia. And unfortunately, you can't control that, But, I mean, I'm not a bad person. I've made mistakes. I've owned up to my mistakes in life. I don't run from my responsibilities. I took care of my mom for 13 years, and nobody else in the family did. And then when she passed away, everybody took their share out of the house and left me in the cold. So I've been homeless for 3.5 years now, trying to get myself out of a $14,000 debt. I was halfway out, and then this hit me. Now I'm back down. I was $7,000 in the hole, and now I'm back to $14,000 again in the hole. But I got a good job. I've been working there for 3 years now. My boss loves me, and I just want to put this all behind me and get on with my life.
I think that, Mr. Newman, you and I can agree that this is a bizarre set of circumstances.
Yes.
And, you know, I don't really know what to make of it, to be honest with you. But, I mean, I know that you pled guilty to the charge in the case. So, you know, for you to plead guilty and you expect me to treat you as if you're innocent is not really realistic on your part. Also, the folks in probation, you know, somebody who maintains that they didn't do anything wrong is a bit of a mixed bag for them because, first of all, they want to make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen anymore and address those issues. So I don't really know where this is headed. But the other thing is, you know, if you continue to be a law-abiding citizen and you don't give me any problems, you're probably going to successfully complete your probation, so it may not matter either way. I'm going to place you into my community control program for a period of 3 years on basic supervision. I'm going to impose upon you the standard rules of supervision. Whatever the Talbert assessment says you got to do, I'm also going to have you complete the Court's Thinking for a Change program. You're going to have no contact whatsoever with Ms. Ponder or the residence in which this occurred. Stay away from it altogether. I'm going to remove you from electronic monitoring today, give you credit for the 15 days of jail that you have already done. I'm not going to impose a fine. I am going to impose the costs upon you. If you violate the terms of your supervision, Mr. Newman, or you leave the state without permission, I can sentence you to up to the maximum penalty in this case, which is 18 months in prison. Anything else we need to do? Anything I forgot?
Was there,
Appellate rights.
was there an order as far as for drug and alcohol outpatient? Is that-
Yeah, whatever the Talbert assessment is, that's what he needs to do.
Okay.
All right, finally, Mr. Newman, you do have the right to appeal this to the 12th District Court of Appeals in Middletown. If you don't have the funds to hire a lawyer to obtain a transcript or to pay the cost, they'll all be provided to you at no charge. Good luck to you.
Thanks, sir. Will he meet with you now?
I'll meet with somebody in probation today.
You know where to go.
Yeah. I got
Good luck, Terry.
Thanks.
This is the case of the State of Ohio versus Rachel Spencer, also known as Marston, case number 25CR43234. Present before the court is Ms. Spencer, right?
Yes, sir.
Represented by Mr. Clark, and we have Ms. Hyatt from the prosecutor's office. We are here today for pretrial, but it's my understanding that Ms. Spencer is going to be entering a plea of guilty to 1 count of theft. Is that accurately stated?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Spencer, I know we've been through this a number of times before, but I want to make sure that we have a clean record in each one of our cases. How old are you?
I'm 32. I'll be 33 in April.
How far did you go in school?
I graduated.
Are you able to read and write English?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, sir.
Are you taking any medications?
No.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes.
We've had some discussions about your case. If you enter a plea of guilty to this charge, my plan is to sentence you to prison in the case. I think it makes sense for us to do a PSI and go ahead and get the referral for the community-based corrections facility out of the way. But if we want to go forward with sentence today, we can do that. But I think it might be better to make the referral. Officer Evans, I know this is not your case, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but we probably need that referral now, right? If we're going to refer somebody to a CBCF following judicial release? Or can we do it?
I've seen it both ways. We can also do it as if she's in prison. We can do that at a conference.
Oh, okay.
Release.
Judge, if I may, I just wanted to kind of give you an update. From what I'm hearing from my client, I think she's just agreeable to do the 12 months. And
Oh, she
not
just
do
wants
the
to serve it out?
CBCF,
Yes.
yeah, just
Oh,
serve out
okay.
the time and
Yes.
be done.
All right, that does simplify things to some certain degree. So, Ms. Marston, other than what I just told you, has anybody made any threats, promises, or representations to get you to plead guilty to this against your will?
No.
I have a document entitled Change of Plea and Entry. It looks like on the second page is a signature above the line defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you review this with Mr. Clark before you signed it?
Yes, I did.
Are you satisfied with the representation that you've received in the case?
Yes, I am.
You're going to enter a plea of guilty to 1 count of theft. It's a
Pause, because this is the most powerful sentence in the room. A guilty plea isn't just an admission. It's a legal surrender of trial rights, silence, confrontation, and the presumption of innocence. Judges slow this moment down for one reason: appeal protection. If this record isn't crystal clear, the entire conviction can unravel later. Translation: this is where the case becomes final. No drama, just consequences.
degree felony, punishable by up to 12 months in prison and a $2,500 fine. There's no mandatory prison in the case, but I do intend to send you to prison. You're also subject to an optional period of post-release control of up to 2 years, but you might be also eligible for things like transitional control, early release. They don't send me a letter anymore and ask me permission, but if they did, I don't see any reason not to do that.
Okay.
But I'm going to sentence you to the maximum penalty in the case. Before we go any further, I want to make sure that you understand your rights. You're presumed to be innocent in this case. That means that you can't be sentenced or punished until you either plead guilty or the state of Ohio proves that you're guilty. They have to do that unanimously to a jury or to a judge beyond a reasonable doubt at a trial. You would have the right to confront all the witnesses against you at the trial, compel witnesses to testify on your own behalf, and you have the right to remain silent. If you enter a plea of guilty to this charge, you're going to waive all of those rights. You're going to admit that you did it. We're going to get on to this prison sentence. Is that what you want to do?
That's what I want to do.
Ms. Hyatt, what are the facts?
Your Honor, if this case had proceeded to trial, the state would have shown beyond a reasonable doubt that between the dates of September 5th through the 7th of 2025, while this defendant, Rachel Spencer, a.k.a. Marston, was at the Ameris stop in Lebanon,